Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from High Branch Brewing Company out of Concord, North Carolina. I'm pretty excited for this one because I had heard really good things about this guy for a while, but the last time they released it was before I had moved down here, so I hadn't had a chance to try it, and this was one beer that a lot of people I had talked to said that this was the best beer that these guys do, and it's also the first time I've seen them do something in 750s, which doesn't really mean anything, but interesting. So what this beer is, it's called Norway Hill, and it says on the bottle it's a barrel aged saison, 6.4 ABV. That's all I really got on it, so let's crack it open and see what we got. So as you can see, it pours I wouldn't call it hazy, but a cloudy, medium to darker straw color. It is pretty light, with a pretty small white head that dissipated pretty quickly. The aroma is a little bit of funk. There's definitely some like Brett C character to it. Slightly cheesy, little bit of like over-ripened apple, maybe a little bit of lemon juice too. It's pretty good. This is like really reminding me of Brew Gentleman, and if I'm saying this remind me of something from Brew Gentleman, that means I like it because I like everything they make. But this reminds me a lot of Brew Gentleman, their table beer. It may be even leaning over towards, I can't remember what the first one of their like wild beer series, this something in Discovery, which was like a barrel aged saison. This kind of reminds me of that. It's not quite as tart as that was, but I think the reason why it reminds me of that is because that was also like very oaky, very light, and it's obvious that the intentions were not for this to be like a sour saison. This is, and I actually am pretty shocked that this is 6.4, and not that that's strong, but like if you told me this was a table beer and it was, like 4%, I would absolutely believe it, because it is it's very soft, and it seems like it's very delicate too. The drinkability of this thing is like through the roof, though. I will say that. Where it lacks in complexity, it makes up for in being just so dialed in and centered and just simplistic. I mean, I know obviously the opposite of complex is simple, but simplistic in the best way possible, where it has complexity, but it seems like it's all for a purpose, and the purpose of just making this a super soft, easy drinking beer. trying to think. Yeah. There's not a lot of people who are doing beers like this. And I will say, like, even I'm trying to think, like, Fauna Flora, Saisons, they're definitely more complex than this, but they're also more tart. I would say this is up there for me, but it's just a lot different. It's not, I would say that for me, they're equal in quality and in how much I prefer to drink them, but they're definitely not really similar beers at all, even though they're basically in the same style. It's just lacking that, and it has shades of it too, but it's lacking that, like, depth of like, minerality and, like, I don't know, it's the best way to describe it, like that, like, well water sitting on wet rocks, like that level of depth from, like, a barrel-aged Saison. But because it doesn't have that, it also, like I said, it seems like it's very delicate, so it's kind of, I feel like it's leaving itself out there to be destroyed from a bunch of different components, but nothing is taking hold and is saying, this beer couldn't hold up to this not off flavor, but, this piece of it is too much or whatever. Like, everything is extremely dialed in. I will say I'm really happy with how this turned out. I don't want to say surprised or impressed. I mean, I'm impressed, but I don't want to say surprised because I have a lot of faith in these guys. But I will say the last time they did, like, a lighter sour beer like this, I don't remember what it was called, but it was in a 500 milliliter and had a green label. I was not the biggest fan of that guy. I really was not. This is miles ahead of that. And supposedly this is one, I don't remember what the contest is, if there was voting, but it won, like, best beer in the Charlotte area, which I can completely understand that. I think this is really nice. I mean, it's definitely up there with some of the stuff that Wooden Robot as far as wild beer. Some of the stuff that Wooden Robot has done in the recent Resident Culture beers too. So yeah, this is I think this was like $17. So I mean, now places are charging 15 to 20 for 500 milliliters, so 17 for 750. I think that's pretty justifiable. I really like this, and because this is, like, so soft and easy to drink, like, this is a beer I feel like you could bring to dinner with some people and share it with people who aren't even, like, big beer nerds, and they would appreciate it. So it has that quality to it as well. Yeah, this is absolutely a buy for me. I would seek it out. It's really tasty, awesome step in the right direction for these guys. And they have a strawberry one coming out, strawberry and hibiscus one coming out pretty soon, where this is the base. So I'm pretty excited for that too. So, anyways, that's all I got on this guy. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.